This is a picture of the 2019 Cleveland Browns offense. Wait, I'm sorry. This is a picture of the 2019 Cleveland Browns offense. Much better. What is going on, guys? My name is RZFL Sports here, and today we have a very, very important video to make. We're talking about the man, the myth, the monster, Sir Nicholas Chubb. Somehow, someway, Nick Chubb is not in top 5 running back conversations. And when people do put him in the top 5 running back conversation, he's called overrated. How? Please tell me how. Because August is National Nick Chubb Awareness Month, I felt like it's a perfect time to make this video before August comes around. So make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more football content. We have a Jamal Agnew video coming shortly. And let's go ahead and get started. Nick Chubb in 2019 recorded 1,494 rushing yards. He did that with a head coach named Freddie Kitchens, who called the plays. Freddie Kitchens somehow took a team that even Hugh Jackson could have went 8-8 with to a 6-10 record. He called the same screen pass to the left the entire season. He ran the same 4 plays on offense and was terrible. Nick Chubb also had the 24th best ranked offensive line in the run game according to Pro Football Focus. And he had a quarterback who threw 21 interceptions last year. And somehow, that isn't good enough for a top 5 running back in the NFL. Please tell me how. Let's keep on going. Last season, over 75% of his yards came after contact. Nick Chubb is also the only back since 2006 to have a career yards after contact per carry of 4.0 or greater. To put that into perspective, his Georgia teammate and someone that was drafted higher than him in the 2018 draft, Sony Michel, had a yards per carry last year of 3.7. Nick Chubb's yards after contact per carry was 0.3 yards higher. If that doesn't spell dominance to you, I don't know what does. Do you want me to keep going? Because I could do this stats and analytical stuff all day. You know who leads the NFL in most missed tackles since 2018? Oh, that would have to be Nick Chubb with 110. You know who led everyone in missed tackles last year when you take in receptions and rushes? That would also be Nick Chubb. Wow. I'm noticing a common theme. I'm noticing a theme of just pure, absolute ballerness. Nick Chubb's also the only player in the entire NFL to have a rushing grade above 90 in the last 2 years. He has a 92.1 career rushing grade. No one even comes close to touching him. He was also the most elusive runner according to Pro Football Focus last year, and for the record, he's also been the highest graded back on Pro Football Focus 2 years in a row. How about them apples? But hold on, RGFL. Pro Football Focus is a bunch of morons that don't know what they're talking about. Wait, let me rephrase that for you. Pro Football Focus is a bunch of people that watch film as their job, and you're someone who trolls in my comments. So let's go ahead and let's check our credibility right here. Okay, we get it. Nick Chubb's very good statistically, and he's good on PFF, but how well does he actually fare in the film room? Well, very good. You're going to notice one common thing when looking at Nick Chubb's film, and that is he runs through anything in his path. He always creates something out of nothing. There were several carries last year that really only should have been gains of 1 or 2, and Chubb turned them into big first downs and explosive runs for 20 or more. Take this screen pass here. This isn't a run. This is a screen pass because people say he can't get involved in the receiving game, apparently. Screen pass against the Dolphins, and the blocks aren't amazing. Matter of fact, the Dolphins linebacker's putting himself in a great position to get off his blocker and make a play. And Nick Chubb says, not today. He gets around him somehow, and then is met by a sea of Dolphins, and just takes him with them for another 15 yards, because that's Nick Chubb. You guys get what I'm saying now? You need another example? Take this run against the Bills. It's the same thing, except for this time he's running the ball. Doesn't look like he's going to get too many yards on this play. He cuts upfield, and then boom. The Bills can't bring him down. He gets help from his offensive linemen and his receivers, and then he just continues to push the pile by himself, and the Bills can't bring him down. He did that multiple times that game as well, and he did it throughout the entire season. Nick Chubb is a baller. Let's keep going. According to the Next Gen Stats, Nick Chubb's expected yards per carry last year was 4.1. He added 0.91 yards per carry by himself. That's Nick Chubb for you. The only running back that was higher than him was Derrick Henry with a yards per carry of 1.05 added. No one else is even close to him. I don't see Ezekiel Elliott on this list at all. I don't see him. I don't understand. People have to be low-key faded if they think Ezekiel Elliott's better. That was a good one, right? Please tell me that was a good one? Okay, we'll just say that was a good one. But anyways, I just don't understand how Nick Chubb's not in the top 5 back conversation. I really don't. And the excuses people make to hold him out of it are insane. You say, one, he's not involved in the receiving game, which we already debunked. He's very involved in the screen game. All of his screen passes that did well were at the beginning of the year because teams didn't know what was coming. But when teams figured out, oh, Freddie Kitchens running the same copy and paste screen pass to the left and then flips it like we're on Madden to the right, teams know how to defend it. If you actually gave Nick Chubb 60 checkdowns or something like that, like Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey get, his stats would be inflated. That's not his role in the offense, though. I understand he's not as good as a route runner as them, but take a look at this catch. Take a look at this catch. Don't tell me the boy can't catch. Chubb is a monster. That's not his role, too. It's not his role. He plays a minor role in the receiving game because the Browns have Kareem Hunt to play the major role, and they had Duke Johnson in 2018 to play that role, too. Stop acting like that's his role and stop holding it against him. Then next you say he fumbles all the time. Want to know why? Because the only time the NFL has ever talked about Nick Chubb on their social media pages was when he fumbled twice against the Patriots. He didn't fumble at all in 2018, and he's only fumbled one time outside of that game. Come on! Come on! You don't care about Nick Chubb's 92 or 88-yard runs. They didn't get put on social media, but the only time that something of Nick Chubb's got put on social media was when he fumbled. And that's all you care about. That's all casual fans care about is what gets put on social media. That's the only thing you see. You see the highlights. And the NFL does not care about a small market guy named Nick Chubb out of Georgia that plays for the Cleveland Browns. That's why you don't think he's good. And number 3, for some reason, you say he's only had one good year. Let me say something right now. Nick Chubb in 2018 was on a whole nother level. He actually played better in 2018 than 2019 if we're talking about efficiency. Nick Chubb in every efficiency rating was higher than the Rookie of the Year Saquon Barkley. And for some reason, you say Saquon Barkley is miles better than Nick Chubb. That's appalling to me. That's appalling. Nick Chubb was more productive in less snaps than Saquon Barkley. It was a smaller sample size. He put up 996 rushing yards though. 996, and 30% of the offensive snaps. Todd Haley and Hugh Jackson refused to play him, so John Dorsey had to ship Carlos Hyde away. Come on now. Come on. Want me to keep going about this 2018 season? Because there's a lot more. There's a lot more. Nick Chubb had a higher scrimmage yards per snap than any other back in the league in 2018. That's how good he was. If you want to bring him the receiving game, that counts the receiving game. Better than Saquon Barkley. Better. I'm not saying that Nick Chubb had the better season, even though Pro Football Focus did, and they made an entire premium article that you're lucky I don't have access to because I don't make enough money on these videos. You guys are lucky. You're lucky. Chubb, if you gave Chubb Carlos Hyde's carries at the beginning of the year, he easily would have led the league in rushing. And that's not a stretch. Do the math. Literally do the math. I've talked about this all 2018-19 offseason. I'm talking about it now. Come on. Also in 2018, you know what Nick Chubb did? We talked about how he had 0.92 yards over expectancy per carry, number 2 in the league, only behind Derrick Henry at 1.05. You know what he did in 2018? He had a 1.34 yards over expectancy per carry. That is absurd. No one was even close to him. Derrick Henry's 1.05 was far higher than anyone else besides Chubb. Far higher. Imagine what 1.34 would have done. That's insane. He created something out of nothing. Come on now. And now Nick Chubb is going to have an even better offensive line than he did last year. The Browns added Jedrick Wills, and they added Jack Conklin. You're just scared now. You're making excuses trying to tell me that Kareem Hunt's going to steal all of his carries. What are we talking about? What are we talking about right now? There's a case to be made that he's better than all of the people that are above him. Let's just go by him one by one. Derrick Henry. Nick Chubb's more consistent than Derrick Henry. Yes, Derrick Henry at his peak was better. I can't deny that. But if we're going to talk about consistency, look at Derrick Henry's game logs in the beginning of the season. He was almost non-existent. And that was because he had he didn't have Ryan Tannehill yet. He had Marcus Mariota, who was wetting the bed. But consistency-wise, Nick Chubb had 14 games in a row. 14 games in a row. With 75 or more all-purpose yards. That is called consistency. You want to go ahead and take a look at Saquon Barkley? Saquon Barkley had a game last year with 13 carries for 1 yard. I don't care if he was injured. His offensive line was better than the Browns if you want to look at the advanced metrics. I don't care. Saquon Barkley always has those games every year where he has 2.0 yards per carry or less. You can make I wouldn't be mad if you said Saquon Barkley's better. I wouldn't be mad, but Chubb's more efficient. So stop acting like they shouldn't be in the same conversation. Christian McCaffrey, yes, he's miles better in the receiving game. Miles better. But who's the better ball carrier? Nick Chubb. By a long shot. By a long shot. And Ezekiel Elliott, this one writes itself. Ezekiel had the 4th best offensive line in the NFL last year, and still managed to put up over 130 less yards on more carries. What are we doing leaving Nick Chubb off this top 5 list? What are we doing? Come on now. And the crazy thing about next year is that Nick Chubb has a head coach named Kevin Stefanski that is actually going to use him properly inside the 5-yard line. Nick Chubb's worst thing last year was trying to score touchdowns inside the 5-yard line. Want to know why? And this Bleacher Report article writes it perfectly. Just look how it's written. You had Freddie Kitchens running random things here, trying to receivers to block 310-pound defensive linemen. You have Odell and Jarvis Landry running all over the field. You have Baker Mayfield doing bootlegs, no real tight end to throw to. That's exactly why Nick Chubb wasn't used. Now you're adding a head coach in Kevin Stefanski that allowed Dalvin Cook to have 9 touchdowns inside the 5 last year. Because Kevin Stefanski actually knows what he's doing inside the 5. You're just scared. Nick Chubb is about to go off in 2020. And no one wants to hear it. No one wants to talk about it. And everyone just wants to say that he shouldn't be in the top 5 back conversation. Grow up, guys. Grow up. My name's RCFL Sports. I'm mad. I am mad because this man deserves some respect. Put some respect on the name of Sir Nicholas Chubb. Chubba Chubba Choo Choo. This is RZFL Sports signing off. Bye, guys.